And welcome everyone to another episode of Top Rope Talk. I am your host, Denzel Snipes, and we're here with our other co-host, Jacob Christner, the pundit, and Sean Rossi, the sports agent himself. Before we get started, just would like to invite everybody to follow us on all of our great platforms. We are on Facebook. You're probably watching us on YouTube right now or on X, and that's cool. Also, there's JB's LinkedIn. Some of you may be watching us on there as well. But yeah, on Facebook, also. Sideline Sports on TikTok and at Sideline One Sports as well. So, with that being said, we got about a short episode before everyone gets to Monday Night Raw. But before we get started, how's everyone doing?
Good, man. I'm in this coat because it is. I was just telling you guys in the backstage. It is about 31 degrees here in Atlanta as we speak. So it's in Alpharetta, Georgia. So as much as I'm used to the cold, it doesn't mean that we come around in t-shirts and jeans.
Yeah.
All right. John, you said it's pretty cold down there in Orlando, huh?
Yeah, no, this is a little early for our little cold season here. 38 degrees at some point tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we, we're gonna go ahead and get started right now. So now is about the time because we are about 3 weeks out from Survivor Series. So just going around the panel, what are some Survivor Series War Games predictions? And not just the War Games match, men's and women's, but just any match in general. I actually came across on Bleacher Report, and I actually wanted to bring this up. And they made mention that John Cena, very well could fight at Survivor Series against the man who is the current Intercontinental Champion. This is the title that has eluded Cena his entire career. They predicted a Cena Mysterio Intercontinental title match. Jacob, your thoughts on that?
The big thing about it is the fact that I don't know if I wanted, because everybody else in the world, all the dumb idiot fans want to say that they've blown up his final, just because he hasn't won matches or whatever, he won too many matches, whatever a fan decides. My main thing is this should be the time, just like every other, just like Mick Foley. Mick Foley did it when he was going out, put everybody over. But one thing that I would really love is the rumor that I heard that you could try to get Edge back, and that could be his final match.
Yeah.
And you want to know what would be my final match, my personal final match? It would be amazing for a Saturday Night Main Event. Cena versus Randy Orton versus Edge.
Oh, like the old days again.
Yeah, just one more time, and then three go out like Triple H, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
And
they go out together.
Only thing about it is people are going to say, well, he already faced Orton this year and beat him.
Well, but it doesn't matter on that thing. It's just like everybody knows Orton's about to go.
Yeah, that's true.
They know Orton's about to go. It's like we did the end of an era situation. Let's do another one. Because you got all these ones in the first place, you know what I mean?
This is true.
I think that's the big thing is you got to remember the idea of Saturday night's main event was 33 million people watching, or that was the Hogan and Andre. It hasn't come anywhere near that in all those years. Not saying it would come to that, but you could get 10, 12 million watching that. Watching this one. You got to do something to get that, and I think that the final match would be amazing, especially Edge coming back.
Okay. And then swing it over to you, Sean. Your thoughts about a potential Cena Mysterio IC title match at Survivor Series?
Yeah, I think it would be a good match. I don't mind it. I honestly, based on what we saw on Monday, I really hope we kind of get Dom versus his dad one more time. And especially Ray looked super healthy on Monday. I'd like to see him get one good match in, especially with it being in San Diego. I could see Cena somehow being involved, but I feel like it's going to be maybe to help Ray beat Dominic. And then maybe Ray and Cena go at it the next night or something out of respect. Hey, thanks for helping me. I want to give you a shot at something you've never had. But I don't know about just taking the title off Dominic just to say, hey, Cena, here's one more accolade that you need 2 weeks before your last match.
Yeah, very true.
Well,
The only thing about it is this: Cena essentially would be a transitional champion because
And
okay,
then
you
you're
figure
putting it back
either
on a
Cena,
monster. Based on
yeah,
rumors, you're going to put it back on a monster.
yeah, I mean, it's like, well, Cena could go out a Grand Slam champion, true, but also the one who was going to be a Grand Slam champion, you figure regardless, right? But in Cena's final match would be an Intercontinental title match, and whoever beats him, they'd be the new champ.
I do have one theory and one possibility I would love to do for the writing part. It's like have Cena versus Mysterio. Dom cost Cena the title, and then Dom and Ray, and then you could have the final match where it could be Edge or whatever. He doesn't need the title anyway. Personally, I've been saying it 1,000 times over to really give the extra heat on Dom. I like him taking Dom to take Ray's mask and then retiring.
Oh wow!
Take Ray's mask and retiring. And I'm like, I've been saying that forever. I'm like, that would just put some. You don't get a lot of real heat. You take a Mexican guy's mask.
Yeah.
And
Your
then
dad's
boy,
a dad.
yeah, and it's like this era's version of taking Undertaker's streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and here's the thing. At least when the guy that took Undertaker's streak was the most dangerous SOB that's won the UFC heavyweight title.
Right.
At least that could keep up with Taker, that could do all that. At least it was that. This would be a skinny-armed, snot-nosed kid.
Yeah. Pretty
You know
much.
what I mean? This would be a skinny-armed, snot-nosed kid who as a heel gets himself squashed by anybody that's better, and everything like that. And then just imagine him having the heat to say, "I took my dad's mask."
Yeah.
You know
what?
And then I retired him.
You know what? Speaking on the Sean, what are your thoughts about all of that?
Yeah, so I mean, we got so many guys wrapping up.
Right back.
Go ahead. We've got so many guys wrapping up their careers. It's but I think that would be one way, like you said, to actually get actual heat on Dominic. I thought the line he dropped last week about Eddie Guerrero being his father and him kind of verbally leaning into it for the first time in a while, was a little bit of where that could be headed. Yeah. No, he really leans into it. But the fact that he actually said it, I like where the feud is possibly going, even though it's going to be a short thing. We know Ray can't be around for too many matches based on his prior health. But I think Ray's going to give him, the nod of, giving him the last match and taking the career. And I think, like you said, if you just add the cherry on top and take the mask.
Take the mask. I mean, it would be. And don't have the hug out. Don't have anything. Kick him in the nuts.
No.
Kind of like, kick him in the nuts, just like Jericho to Shawn. Do that,
and just like when he originally turned and he kicked Edge and Mysterio, down when he originally turned. Make sure you keep it that way.
What I really hated with that original turn is I noticed that Edge. This was the deal. I noticed that Edge is like 4 times bigger than anybody in AEW. Yet he's like 4 times bigger than anybody in AEW, and yet Dom knocked him down with one call. Come on.
Dom was even smaller back then.
I know. I mean, come on. It's like, I mean, here's the thing with these. This is the thing. Every time I look, okay, could you imagine Randy Orton in an AEW ring? He'd look like Andre. He'd look like Andre. And it's like, but yet it's like these guys, they're so used to being professional wrestlers, they'll just do the spots, they'll do all this. They're like, why does Adam Cole need to do a spot with Randy Orton? I'm just giving an example.
Yep.
Why does he need to do an example? Why does he need to do that? Like, what's the reason? Why can't Adam Cole earn knocking him down? It's like every Brock Lesnar match was like anybody. You earned when you got him.
Yeah, there's no more playing into weight differential.
Yeah, it's like you earned. That's the thing with Brock. Yeah, Brock goes down. Brock is a tremendous seller, but you earn it.
Mm-hmm.
He runs himself into a rope, or he screws up, or you get it, or you kick him in the legs. The greatest match I know from the era that we know, to me, is Eddie Guerrero versus Brock.
Yes.
Because how long did it take to chop the tree?
Yeah. Yeah.
It took a minute. I mean, he had to stick and move, but also at the same time, well, look at when Finn Balor faced Brock. Look at when Daniel Bryan faced Brock. You know, they had to chop the tree down. They had to wait till even Roman Reigns had to wait until he knew he couldn't slug it out with Brock all night. And Reigns is 263 pounds.
And
He had to wait until Brock made a mistake.
And this is the thing I bring. This is the thing I bring up all the time. It's not trying to be Omos and just like everybody dominate. It's not my point I'm making. It's build a story, build and earn. It's like, okay, it's like, here's the deal. Edge in a WWE ring, sell all dang day. Why is Edge selling in an AEW ring? Why is Billy Gunn selling in an AEW ring? I mean, they put 1 foot in that thing and they're 4 times bigger than anybody. It's like, and it's not only 4 times bigger than anybody, they move just as well as they do.
Yeah.
So why would you? It's like, could you imagine Braun Breaker in the AEW ring? Everybody's just remember it's like what Cornette calls all my best friends wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, so these guys, it's real professionals. It's kind of like the minor leaguers. And what if Aaron Judge goes to the minor leagues? He's just going to look
big fish in a small pond. Yeah,
I know. That's why that's why I don't like it. That's the thing about indies. Is like, why is anybody selling on the indies if you're from the WWE? Shouldn't you just be that much better?
Yeah. Well, and you know, and to your point, even though they were neck and neck back then, I always felt the same way if Shawn Michaels jumped ship to WCW.
Mm-hmm.
He's 10 times better than anyone else in that company, right?
He really
at that
is,
time
but
period.
He really was, but boy, the politics that were there, you know, it's like, and here's the thing, as much as it was an NWO, let's see, Sean and Kevin could not protect. I mean, Kevin and Scott. Thanks. Kevin and Scott could not protect Sean from Hogan.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting, that dynamic, because especially since they had that souring around the Montreal Screwjob where Brett was already leaving and Michaels was already unhappy. I mean, that locker room was already a poison mess. But can you imagine if Michaels got over there and he knows, like, hey, I'm better in the ring than Hogan, and other than Bret Hart, who do you have?
I mean, we would have gotten Sean much sooner.
Yeah, the younger age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you would have had Hogan and Sean when Hogan could move a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hogan could move a little bit. It might have been a little more interesting. It's like Sean had to do all that work, and you know, I kind of liked the original match in the first place, but
But Sean carried the match. Call it what it is.
Yeah,
I know. I said it. I did say that. It's like he carried the match. It's like Hogan couldn't move anymore, but it's like, I mean, that was the big thing. It was the fact that Hogan even sold for that at all showed that. But Sean even had to climb him to sell it.
Right.
Yeah. So no, Sean had to carry everything because Sean was awesome.
Well, we got about 12 minutes left. We're going to go into our top rope throwbacks here, chosen by Sean himself. So the first one, and actually you're going to like this one here, Jacob. November of '94. So Vince McMahon announced on the air that the World Wrestling Federation and Macho Man Randy Savage did not come to terms on a new deal, and Savage debuts on WCW weeks later. Sean, you want to elaborate on this one?
Yeah, I mean, so especially for me, since I was much younger at that time, as a kid, I'm like, what do you mean, Macho Man's not going to be on TV anymore? It's like, that doesn't make sense to me. What channel is he going to be on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so, and for Vince to actually announce it, was a little bit of that first kind of, not first, I want to say, but one of the first entries into the Monday Night Wars of breaking down some walls per se, and actually saying, hey, we actually failed to come to terms with this contract. And Macho Man will no longer be with us. But I think, now looking back as I would watch it now, if I was an older fan then, you could kind of see, hey, Macho got forced out of the ring to be an announcer. He was not happy. It was going to happen at some point. Yeah.
It's kind of like, with... And this was at a time period where, like, the business was still kind of protected, right? The very next year, Lex Luger had pulled an astronomical stunt by wrestling on WWF television, and then a few days later on Monday he pops up on the first ever Monday Nitro. And I remember Kevin Nash talking about this and saying, "Yeah, Vince McMahon always took people at their word, and sometimes it burned them." He gave a handshake deal to Lex Luger. Luger said he was staying, and then Luger like leaves for WCW like 2 days later. So. But Jacob, your thoughts about this? Vince McMahon announcing on the air that Macho and the Federation did not come to terms on a new contract. Savage then jumped to WCW.
I was like, because I watched WCW also. Okay, he's going to be over there. Sweet. But this is the thing. Macho came up with a 2-year idea with Shawn Michaels. A 2-year idea. And Macho would start babyface. It would go 2 years, and then Shawn would be heel, and then they'd switch in one match, and then they'd go to the other. He had it all laid out, everything. And Vince goes, "No, this is the new generation." Of course, it's a new generation, you idiot. That's why he's doing it. He literally would have had that thing, retired himself, and gone to the and gone over to the booth. He said it himself. Mm-hmm. But instead they put Macho with Repo Man and Macho with Doink. But with the little Doinks and the Macho and the little guy versus, and it's like, what was wrong? Especially when they were struggling so hard with storylines. Was Vince's ego that ridiculous that you couldn't have taken that one?
It was.
Yeah, it's like that. Take the idea. It's like you would have gotten Shawn over way quicker.
Yeah, and that the match between those two, I mean, just based on what he did with Steamboat, but obviously Michaels and Savage in a ring at that time, as Michaels is coming into his prime and Savage is still in his prime in the ring in terms of what he did and how he put people over. I mean, that would have been an amazing match.
Michaels would have been the most athletic dude that Macho had faced since Steamboat.
You ever seen Macho versus Shawn in Europe, in England?
No, I haven't.
Look it up. It's an awesome match. It is an awesome match. Shawn works the leg the whole time, and it's a whole sell. It's a tremendous match. But they just didn't get him enough chances. But the big thing about it is the fact that all this stuff, and yes, Vince has this crazy ego. Why couldn't he just allow that and allow it to say goodbye? Because it was supposed to be the new generation era. What stories did they have that we can remember? That would have taken that place. It's like, could you imagine a couple of about 3, or you could have 3 pay-per-view matches with you could have flipped them once. Shawn ends Macho's career. Macho was a heel. You can end him there. Shawn could be a babyface. You can have babyface Shawn a lot quicker, and everything like that. And here's the deal: you bring Nash in, and it gets Nash in the ring quicker. It gets, instead of being a bodyguard, he would have gotten even better then, because he would have gone right away instead of standing there and watching for all those times.
Right.
You could still have Kevin then. You could still have it with Scott. You could still have all that, but it would have been a lot quicker putting him into the ring, and it would have got him over a lot quicker. It would, especially would have gotten Shawn over a lot quicker as baby faces have to face the heel Diesel.
Yeah.
And it's like, and everything like that, and all that kind of stuff, and then it's just little things like that, and you wouldn't have had either way. Shawn's gonna get over even if he loses.
If he loses, right? Dude.
And these are the little things that Vince. That's why I said Vince lost Gorilla too quick. He lost Gorilla Monsoon too quick. He did. It needs to be. I wish I could have been in that one thing, and then I could go find Gorilla and say, "Could you talk to him?" Because it'd be the one guy Vince would listen to, and Vince get that, and Gorilla would call him Vinny and say, "You're being an idiot."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you lost him too quick and everything. He needed. I mean, it's like Gorilla was still around, but he was just unhealthy, and he lost his son.
Yeah.
So I mean, but he just lost him too quick. It's like that ego would get in the way and stuff. It's like Shawn versus Macho would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, just for what he got to work with Repo Man Doink, it was basically like Vince just sticking it to him for not coming to an agreement on a term.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But those are just little things like that. Considering Hogan just left, that would have been 2 years to carry over into '95.
And Macho came with, the additional exposure and income from Slim Jim. That was part of why WCW actually went after him, because they got money from Slim Jim for signing Macho Man.
But see, they keep Macho 2 extra years. That's the thing. If they would have done this, they keep Macho 2 extra years. There is a very interesting storyline for 2 years.
Yeah.
And he probably creates 3 new stars, including Shawn Michaels.
And yes, Diesel's a lot more over when he finally touches that title, because his reign comes out of nowhere and then makes 0 sense, 0 money.
Yeah. And absolutely. And it's like everything gets everything. It's like Brett gripes about Hogan screwed me. Brett's title win over Yoko meant so darn much more with Hogan taking that match at the King of the Ring. And it's not close. It's because Hogan got absolutely squashed to death. He got squashed to death, squashed out of the wrestling. Brett got attacked 2 or 3 times before the match. Then he lost to Owen. He got completely and utterly put over, where the place went insane. And if he doesn't, and I am telling you this right now, if he faces Hogan, he doesn't get anywhere near as over.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
He does not. It's like he doesn't get anywhere near. Okay, it's like because there are, no matter what, there's still going to be Hogan fans. There isn't. It's a split, no matter what. Yeah. You have that, but just the idea that Yoko squashed out Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, you have Luger, but Luger couldn't take it. One muscle guy in history couldn't take it. It's like, who's going to beat him now? And then Brett completely does it. Takes a year. It was just, that's the thing. It's like Brett complains about Hogan. Shut up. You had a perfect goodbye. You had a perfect thing at WrestleMania. And it was all because you didn't get that match with him. All because it wouldn't have been as good of a match.
Yeah. Well, we have about 4 minutes left when we go to our next one here. And that is November of 2017. So AJ Styles beat WWE Champion Jinder Mahal to win the title. First time in history that the WWE Championship changed hands overseas. They were in England, right, Sean?
Yeah, they were Manchester, England, and I did look, and it hasn't changed hands since in terms of an overseas match for one of the WWE championships, the heavyweight, the world title. Other titles, obviously, Intercontinental, United States have changed hands, but it's really rare for any title to change hands. I looked, there's about 10 title changes overseas, Intercontinental, tag belts, women's titles over the last 20 years. Why do you guys think that is?
And you would think it would happen more because it's the World Heavyweight Championship, but yeah, that's great. I mean, probably because there aren't that many of them, because at the end of the day, the WWE, WCW, AEW, they're all United States-based promotions, even though that's kind of like the goal of the world. Unless you're like this mega hero in Japan, and New Japan Pro Wrestling is always going to be home. Okay, I get it. But typically, the goal, you can start off in Australia, Japan, Africa, Europe, wherever. The goal is the WWE. You figure, you know what I mean? Like, if you wrestled in WWE, you kind of like made it, right? But as far as now, I will say this much: is because now they are going more overseas. Even AEW, All In, going overseas and such, and because WWE is going more overseas, with the Riyadh season thing with Crown Jewel and everything, Clash in Paris and such. We probably will see more title WWE or World Heavyweight title changes happening overseas. I think, pretty much before the Triple H era, because there wasn't that many, shows overseas. WWE was going overseas like what, once every 3-4 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that 99 era too, because they had 12 title changes and none of those happened overseas. That was one of the first years they did the Manchester event with Stone Cold and The Rock. They did several events over there with big names and no title changes in terms of the heavyweight titles.
Yeah. Real quick, Jake, your thoughts on this?
What do you think? Okay, I'm going to ask this question to you guys. What do you think is a better match, AJ and Jinder Mahal or Brett versus Bulldog at Wembley?
I mean, I like Brett Bulldog.
I'm in agreement with that. And I'm just like what we were saying on that. The reason I'm saying that is Bulldog, even at his very worst, was way more athletic. And then Vince sabotaged Mahal by making him an old school heel that did no moves. I mean, even Mahal said it himself. He told me, I can do 100 moves. Like, no, I just want you to do arm bars. It's like, I mean, it's what, like I said, we lost Gorilla Monsoon too early.
Yeah.
We lost him too early because there's no one to tell him he's a moron sometimes.
True.
It's just like, but no, I really believe. I mean, it's like I said, AJ Styles could get a great match out of a grape. It doesn't even matter on that. But the biggest thing about Jinder Mahal is you had what did he have, about a 9-month reign?
Yeah, that was his longer
reign doing old school 1980s stuff, which wonderful if he had a charisma. He had no charisma.
Mm-hmm.
He had absolutely no charisma. People hate him because he's from India.
Yep.
That was the heat. I'm from India, and it's like there's no charisma, there's no anything, there's no real heat. Dirty Dom gets way more heat. It ain't even close. Mm-hmm. I mean, if his name was Smith, Dom could get more heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome with the charisma and all that. And I just saying, it's AJ because it's AJ, but Jinder. It just felt that Jinder Mahal's almost felt just as much of a jib as Drew McIntyre doing it during COVID.
Yeah.
It just did. And it's that way. But you know something? It was that was a great way to end the show.
Yeah, it is. And well, with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in. Be sure and catch us on all of our great platforms. So for the pundit himself and the sports agent, I am Denzel Snipes. We will see you all next week. Enjoy Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football to those of y'all who have two things going on at the same time. Later.